really didn't catch it, you have to run and touch the wall before someone else hit the ball. And if you hit the ball before they ran up and touched it, then they have to stay there. Right, so like say I bounce up off the ball, you move effectively faster. You have to run over and touch the ball.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome back inside historic Keyworth Stadium in tonight's Google 5 broadcast as Detroit City FC plays host to Corktown AFC. Alongside my broadcast partner, the distinguished John Krieger. My name is Neil Rule. Happy to have you with us wherever you may be watching around the world. And John, look, the reality is we're coming down the stretch of the season. 3 points always big. 3 points particularly big for DCFC here tonight. They can put the hurt on Corktown and really push them out of the picture.
And that's what they're trying to do. They really want to make this division a two-horse race with Midwest United coming up to the first of two meetings in quick succession against Midwest. If you can eliminate a team from the chances of making the UWS playoffs, that's what you want to do when you want to do it at home tonight.
And speaking of doing things, that's certainly something that Melanie Forbes did for Detroit City FC the last time out as they pounded Muskegon by the score of 10-0. She had 5 of those goals, John. She's coming in hot.
You know what? Anytime you get 5 goals in a match, you got to be someone we spotlight in the Open to Our broadcast. I think she's well and truly earned it. But you know what the fun part about that was? She kept her foot on the gas pedal, and that's something that Sam Ferrani really wanted to see from his players. He needed a statement after their loss to Chicago. She came out, gave him a statement. 5 of the 10 city goals.
And now, much like on the defensive side of the things, coming in hot is Becca Pritzville. There's no question about it. The keeper for DCFC. She's got a lot of clean sheets, just like the hotel room at noon.
And you know what? That's a good thing. And she had a clean sheet the last time out against Corktown AFC as well. She knows how to beat this team. And she also gets some really good help from her back line. But one of the reasons that her back line has been so successful, especially against Corktown, is the fact that Becca really commands her area. She's a quality keeper. We expect more of the same tonight.
We've seen it all season long from Becca, and we've seen it all season long from this Detroit City FC side. When we come back, we'll get you the 11s, and of course, we will kick it. Detroit City FC, Corktown, coming up next.
Chevy is America's fastest growing full-line brand, and people are taking it everywhere. Taking Trailblazer outdoors, confidently taking on new places with Equinox, and taking on more with Silverado. Whatever you do, there's a perfect Chevy to take you anywhere. Find your perfect Chevy. GM employees with a current eligible Chevy lease can get this Blazer for $219 a month. Chevrolet, the best-selling family of SUVs in Metro Detroit. Chevy drives the Motor City. Visit ChevyDetroit.com.
The highways and the throughways try to map you, baby. I got your back.
To the rest of the world, Detroit is where they build cars. But to your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers and everyone who proudly call themselves Detroiters, it goes way beyond that.
I got your back.
Detroit may be known for building cars, but together, we all built Detroit.
We are one when we get going.
Put it in D and see why Chevy drives the Motor City.
Detroit City FC Soccer is presented by Google 5, a different kind of phone plan. By your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Chevy drives the Motor City. And by Ally. Start saving for what matters to you at Ally.com. Welcome back inside historic Keyworth Stadium. They are not banging the drum slowly around here as the Northern Guard is ready to rock. We are as well. Let's check out tonight's starting lineup, brought to you by DMC, the official sports medicine provider of Detroit City FC. And John, this DCFC 11 and really this entire team, we saw them get their first taste of adversity. How would they bounce back after that loss to the Chicago Mustangs? We got our answer. You get the feeling this team's ready to roll tonight.
And they want to use that loss to Chicago as kind of the springboard scheduled for the rest of the UWS divisional season. Take a look at that starting 11 and Melanie Forms up top. When we were talking with Sam Perani earlier in the week, he said, I don't know what my 11 is going to be yet, but I know Melanie Forbes is going to be in it. And so that's the way this Detroit City 11 lines up, a quality attack and a quality defense. It's a great 11 for Sam Perani tonight.
On the other side for Corktown AFC, they have some college quality led by Ashley Barron out of the University of Cincinnati. Also some local flavors. Sammy Lopez of the Oakland Golden Grizzlies is in the top 10 in the Horizon League and assists the last 2 seasons. They have the capability to score, though they were not able to crack that DCFC backline the first matchup.
And part of that is they played way too deep. If you go back and look at that match, they were content to let City be on the ball. That's exactly what Sam Perani wants, and that's exactly what Corktown AFC let them do. They weren't physical. They know it needs to be different tonight. They've got to be a little more on the front foot if they want to compete with City.
As we are just about ready to go 85 degrees here at the opening kick. 62% humidity. They're calling for thunderstorms right around the 9:30 area. So we will keep an eye on the skies as we get ready to roll. Corktown AFC. Interesting kit combos here tonight with the black and the rouge. So a couple of, the darker kits out there on display. Corktown in those blacks. But we are just about ready to go. Neil Rule, John Krieger with you in tonight's Watch City broadcast brought to you by Google Fi. But again, John, as we said, a big 3 points for Detroit City. They can really put a hurt on Corktown AFC, and in kind, they can stay right in the mix with Midwest United.
And you need to do that because, the loss to Chicago, you drop points, it's going to count in your divisional standings. And Midwest United, if you take a look at it, Sam Perani said, Corktown may be looking at us. I've got Midwest United circled on my calendar. That's the one I'm worried about. That's the one we got to look at. And you got a situation where they know they need to have points in the bank when you get ready for 2 at the business end of the season against the team that really you're going and you want to make it a 2-horse race for the top seed and the right to host in the semifinals of the Great Lakes Region playoffs. I think we've got a delay here, Neil, because one of the Corktown players has a nose ring, and you can't have that on the pitch. And so the officials spotted that, and my guess is they're trying to take that out. Also, you mentioned the kids. Normally, it is the visiting team that is incumbent to change and have a change kit ready. Corktown and making the trip over here to Keyworth Stadium from the corner ballpark. Must have forgotten to pack the change kits. And so we're going to go black against maroon tonight. Sam Perani, the man at the head of the Detroit City FC women's program. Really, I have to give him some credit here. It isn't often that when you ask a coach about a loss, Neil, they step up and say, you know what, I could have done better. And that's exactly what he said. He said, I could have rotated the squad better. I could have made different decisions in squad selection. He said that loss to the Chicago team was in part because City had played a bunch of matches in a row and were dead, and the squad that he picked didn't have enough energy. And I love it when I hear a coach take that kind of accountability. And that's the kind of guy Sam Perani is. And his team responded in kind with a 10-0 shelling the next week.
And we are underway here at historic Keyworth Stadium. Neil Rule, John Krieger, happy to have you along wherever you're watching around the world. Extra special hello to those of you watching on YouTube as well, as the non-binary smoke emanates from the Northern Guard supporter section in a celebration, the continuing celebration of Pride Month.
Coming up at halftime, of course, we'll have a look at the Pride Raiser initiative started by the Northern Guard in conjunction with the Chattahooligans down at Chattanooga FC. And so far, I think we've had 3 Pride Raiser matches, Neil, and the smokes have been Pride Smoke, Trans Smoke, and now non-binary smoke for the first 3 matches. And the wind is blowing in a way that we could have a smoke delay this evening.
You see it coming across the very top of your screen. And this portion of tonight's Watch City broadcast brought to you by DMC, the official sports medicine provider of Detroit City FC. Ball touched ahead by Zoe Hudson. DCFC played it away. And there's Gabby Mueller with the control for Corktown. Now City will take it back. Sarah Hughey with that captain's armband on. Makes her move. Almost played away from behind. But City will regain control. There is Grace Philpott, has a goal this year. Started 6 matches as a freshman for DePaul. And John, that's a big move. You're talking about a Big East program in DePaul. You're a freshman. You show up on the scene. You start 6 matches of a shortened season. You can play, period.
Well, absolutely. And she's got pace, and that's a good ball through here as well.
Ashley Zugay on the move, gets on the end of it. Her cross was blocked and played out. So a throw-in coming up for Detroit City FC.
Already gaps at the back of the Corktown defense. They've come out of their shell a little bit. They are a little bit further forward than we saw them in the match at the corner ballpark. And the other side of that is there are gaps to find.
City with the possession inside the 18. There was Melanie Forbes. We talked about it in the open. All she did was score 5 goals against the Muskegon Risers. But other than that, she didn't really do a lot. 5 goals.
And, you know, there some would say, look, her 3rd, 4th, and 5th goal.
I don't care about that. You get 5 goals, you got 5 goals.
And that's what I was going to say. You know, she put her foot on the gas, and that's something that Sam Perrone really liked to see, Neil. City could have packed it in for the second 45 minutes and won 7-3 easy. But instead, they kept their foot on the gas and put 10 on the board.
Ball headed up ahead, which always goes back to my thing, because I hear people talk about that too. Well, you know what? You can't get to 10 without the 5 that she had.
Yep.
You know, that certainly
5 goals.
That certainly changes the discussion in my mind. Corktown with the control on the right side. Paige Weber has it, working her way down the pitch. Played college soccer at Michigan State. Cross sent in. It's loose inside the 18 temporarily. Standing up, making the play. There's that back line for City. Service up towards the goal, and it's redirected into the net. And Corktown takes a 1-0 lead. Schupbach, I believe, with the goal. First team All-MAC performer at Bowling Green State. And Corktown gets on the board early. That's exactly what you want if you're Aaron Roy, the head coach.
And City huddling after that goal. Becca Prisbello and Sarah Hughey immediately called the team over, Neil. And I have a feeling that the huddle went like this. Don't switch off like this. Corktown, huge gap to be able to provide service, and a completely unmarked runner through 2 layers of City's defense to be able to redirect that home. You get through the first layer, that's fine, but you send one runner through, somebody better mark her. Nobody did, and it's 1-0 Corktown.
Maddie Schupbach with the goal. And she has international experience as well. 2 goals in 3 matches played for the Cardiff Metro Ladies, and that was in UEFA Women's Champions League in 2019-20, which, you know, John, is about as high level as you get.
In the women's game, absolutely. Well, in either gender's game,
right.
Absolutely. And especially as the women's side of that competition really starts to grow in stature.
So we'll see how City bounces back from this. There's Kenna White, the target. Her cross knocked out. And there will be a corner kick. There does seem to be an increased pep in the step now of LaRouge.
They came out, got punched early. We've seen them respond from adversity before. I will say this. Aaron Roy wanted his team, his Corktown team, to be more physical. Mission accomplished early. They are applying the body of the City players very early. And they tried a little training ground thing here, and it didn't go off.
Yuki puts a little too much mustard on the hot dog as that ball's played over the line. Throwing coming up for Corktown. Coming in with a mark of 2-2. They are 3rd in the Midwest North Conference. Last time out it was a 4-2 loss at Midwest United. Now they will host Midwest United next Wednesday. So very quick turnaround. And John, we talked about for Corktown as far as the table goes. A win tonight for City would be very large and very damaging to Corktown. Now the flip side of that coin is Corktown can change the entire narrative come Wednesday night at about 9:30, 10 o'clock.
Absolutely. Get 3 points here, beat Midwest United. There's a chance all of a sudden, depending on how City does against Midwest, then either Midwest or City, who are two of the favorites, might be on the outside looking in because of the playoffs.
Madison Duncan tried to catch up to that one along the line. A giveaway by City. This is dangerous inside the 18. Stepping over, coming across. Cross touched away at the last moment. There's a flat-out giveaway, stepping up with the shot, and the stop is made.
What a
Elisa Bayron did the job, I think, on the back line.
That's a flat giveaways early going by City here. Not used to seeing a Sam Perroni coach team make those kind of mistakes at the back.
Philpotts will play it back, and John, I agree. City looks a little bit stunned right now. Very fortunate to just be down the 1-0.
And frankly, to be honest, the sharpness that I would expect to see, especially after you've just beaten a team 10-0, is not there. You'd hope they were a little sharper early.
McKenna White tried to thread it through. It's played away. Can McKenna White get on the end of this one? She can. Chips it up towards the frame. And making the grab is Haley Craig, the keeper. So we will check out that last opportunity by Corktown AFC. And I believe this was played off the back line. Let's see it again.
It was Barron. Presbello was beat. Good call, partner. That's a calm, cool, and collected move right there.
Ball chipped ahead to Marley Taylor. Taylor with the goal, a couple of assists on the year. These are college soccer at Dayton. 2 goals in 3 matches. She started last year as a sophomore. Ball swung inside the 18, which tells me one thing: she needs to start more matches next year. I'm not a soccer savant, John, but I like, nor am I a math guy.
No,
but I'm big on that probability right there.
Hey, listen, the numbers don't lie, my friend.
Yeah.
You know what else doesn't lie is in the early going here. I don't think Sam Perroni will like to see some of the balls that are being sent in by his team. He doesn't like to make moves just to make them. He likes possession with intent. A couple of balls into the City area with no runners on the other end of them. That won't be something Sam Perroni likes to see early.
The ball curled in towards the 6, headed up and over top of the frame. So City will retreat. Goal kick coming up for Corktown AFC. DCFC will calm it down in midfield, try to move forward. Some miscommunication on that pass as the ball is played backwards. Zoe Hudson. Hudson also plays her college soccer for Bowling Green. 52 minutes against Ole Miss in the NCAA tournament. The ball finds its way through. Some build up here from City. Philpotts turns with it. High challenge again. Bears fruit for Corktown. Pursuit Ingles. Able to catch up to it. Twelfth minute. Early goal for Corktown, the difference. City creates the turnover as Rachel Philpotts took it away. over top of the target. Marley Taylor is the intended recipient. Corktown will have it along that left touchline. John, we're not seeing a lot of pressure right now from Detroit City, just in terms of coming after that back line of Corktown.
No, and the ball's coming in over the top. You know, Sam normally likes to have his teams play the ball on the ground, move it forward. They've tried a couple of direct balls over the top, and it hasn't really borne fruit for City. 4 at the back for Corktown right now, a very good defensive shape. Very high line for Corktown as well in the set piece situation. And that makes it a very easy catch.
Zugay sent that one ahead straight to the keeper. Corktown AFC looking to move out. Inglis again. It's to the middle. Melanie Forbes hesitates, back heel. Corktown sending 2 to the ball.
That's too easy, Neil.
Yeah, and again, John, as I've said, I'm not a big math guy, but 2v1 is probably going to work out for you.
Most times the 2 wins. You know what it is, and we've seen on the last couple of City attacks, City trips forward. You know, when Sam Perroni talks to us, he talks about the fact that he wants to see A, possession with intent, but B, what do you do with the ball and what do you do without the ball? And on that last trip forward for City, Melanie Forbes is making a run. She's drawing defenders. She picked up her head to look around to find a teammate, and nobody was running with her. And so all of a sudden she's running 1v3, and she has nowhere to go with the ball. Just as incumbent as the player making the run, Melanie Forbes, are 2 other players. She's coming up the middle, come up the wings, give her somewhere to distribute. And the unit just doesn't look to be on the same page as the flag goes up with a high line against Corktown. Take a look at some of the passes from City early. They're not received fluidly. You don't, you know, there's that second touch, that the short path on the ball doesn't get to the receiver, allows for the cutouts. Passes have to have intent. You have to move it forward. You just can't put it out there. And then if you're the receiver, you got to come to the ball. You can't wait for the ball to come to you.
Ball cut out again by Corktown. And John, I'll say this too about what Corktown's doing right now. They're taking some liberties as far as the midfield is concerned, as that ball is tracked back to Brisbillo, the keeper. They're taking some liberties. They are very aggressively defending the middle part of the pitch.
Absolutely, and they've moved their back line very far forward. They haven't seen 2 or 3 City players make a combined run that would really stretch them, and they're able to easily mark the one player that makes the run. That allows your 2 wingbacks to get up there and be forward and add bodies in midfield. It's going to be a foul, and a deserved one.
And not much doubt there. Call against Marley Taylor. 16th minute, 1-0 Corktown with the lead. Neil Rule, John Krieger, our Watch City broadcast brought to you by Google Fi. Happy to have you wherever you may be watching. This ball will be sent up inside the 18. It's headed away temporarily. There's another shot on frame. And Brisbillo goes down to the turf to make the catch.
Neil, the City back line needs to go over and give Becca Brisbillo a high five en masse, because no one came out to charge or to challenge that Corktown player on the ball. This is better. 3 players up. And the ball just doesn't get it done.
Forbes looked to make a move. And as you said, it was taken away from her. Here comes City again. And the pitch is reversed.
Got a Corktown player down in front here, Neil. Number 4.
Gabby Mueller down on the pitch, and Mueller's been very good here today. Mueller goes over to the city training staff.
Interesting, the city coaching staff up having a word with the fourth official. Very hot out here tonight, Neil, and the humidity, I think, is going to play a factor as we go on forward, and it may be a bit of a factor in the city's start, if I'm honest. You know, they look a little slow, they look a little sluggish. It's 80-some degrees out there and very humid. That can sap the energy out of you. Coming into this match, City was very happy with the way they trained all week. Samperani talked about the fact that his training sessions, he had so many players at training, he had 2 different 11s, and he felt he could have started either of those 11s against Corktown.
Left side again, here's Grace Philpotts with some room to work. Mueller went back to the locker room, I believe. Melanie Forbes has it, her cross. Played away, but a corner upcoming.
That's better from City. That's a good ball forward from Philpotts to find Forbes. Forbes came with her, it gave her a place to distribute the ball, gave her an option. She was allowed to run because the defensive markers had to respect Forbes.
I think the Corktown coaching staff will get a sub in for Mueller as that ball taken by the keeper, Craig.
That's a better cutout by City.
Throw-in coming up now for Corktown. Corktown AFC with the control. Ball played ahead. City again with some space on that left side. But too much spin on the ball as it scoots away. Kenna White the target of that touch. Played up ahead one more time, and now played away. Substitution coming for Corktown. Lauren Boss will check in to the game. Former Oakland Golden Grizzly, was a Horizon League second team performer. Started 48 career matches for the Golden Grizzlies. Replacing Mueller. And as I said, John, Mueller was maybe the most effective player on the pitch, certainly the most effective player in the midfield for Corktown. She created a lot of problems.
And now City getting some joy here. Good ball from Philpotts.
You can almost feel the momentum of the match changing.
Look at Boss holding Forbes, dragging her back there. Now the official a lot of times will let that go, but she lost the aerial battle and then armbarred Forbes all the way across the area.
Corner upcoming for City.
So you are right, partner. I think the substitution of Mueller going out, giving City some impetus here.
Corner curls away from everyone. Mueller's come back from the locker room but has an ice pack on her foot with no sock or no boot on. A noticeable limp. And there it is. Good catch by our camera crew. Here's City with the possession. Chipped up and in! Volley attempt sent over top of the frame by Forbes. But John, there's some creases out there right now, especially in the midfield.
And City has had a lot more time on the ball and time to move in midfield, and that is the best service of the night. And what a great job by Forbes to get open here. And just couldn't get the ball on frame, but she worked her way past the back line fairly easily.
These are college soccer, and Indiana had 2 goals against Iowa last year. She was a Big Ten Offensive Player of the Week that week.
Partner, as you often say, I don't know a whole lot about some things, but I know that when one of the nation's best conferences makes you a Player of the Week, that's a feather in your cap.
Yeah, you can play. So again in the middle. Forbes. City just looking much more confident. There's a giveaway, and Imperani very frustrated with what he just saw. And that ball's over the line. Boy, Corktown gave it right back.
But you know what? Corktown looks, ever since Mueller went down, Corktown looks a little bit out of sorts. City trying to take advantage.
And here's the left side. We've seen a lot of room for City to work with. An early run by Marley Taylor put her in an offside spot. This portion of tonight's Watch City broadcast brought to you by your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. Tonight's Chevy Dealer Youth Club of the match is DCFC West 2011 Girls Maroon, coached by Kyle Whittingham. Playing up in older age divisions from 7v7 to 9v9, the 2011 Girls Maroon team finished their spring season as the MSDSL champions. Novi Jags Invitational champions and the Canton Cup finalist as well. They are your Metro Detroit Chevy Dealers Youth Team of the match.
Look, anytime that a team gets to the finals of the Canton Cup, you know, if you don't really get into youth soccer and you don't follow just how big of a tournament that is, that's a tournament that brings teams from all over the country into play. And it's known as one of the best youth soccer tournaments in the United States.
And it's a gauntlet. By the time you get to the finals of that thing, you played a lot of matches.
Couple matches a day. You're playing on bobbly fields. They basically make every inch of green space in a park in Canton Township, all over the high school, everything becomes a soccer field for the weekend. If you get to the finals of that tournament, you have run through an absolute meat grinder of a tournament. So well done to them for getting to the finals of that competition.
Here comes Corktown. Ball threaded ahead. Too much on it. I believe that was Sammy Lopez. Played it ahead. So City will roll it out. Text coming in.
New phone, who this?
I think it was Drake that said, used to call me on my cell phone.
Are you not entertained?
Throw-in coming up now for City.
Probably just a reminder to pick up the milk and eggs on the way home.
I'll get that, I'm sure, tonight.
From the president of Rural Holdings?
Yes, I like to say. Yeah. President, CEO, CFO. Here comes City on the right side. Sarah Hughie working 1v1 and working hard. Keeping control. Cross. Headed up, Kenna White. Coming up off the line and making the grab is Haley Craig.
Neil's so much better. So much better from Kenna. So much better from the City midfielders. So much better going up the wings. They have found a little traction. Put a little sand underneath the tires on the ice. You're seeing a better shape, better movement without the ball. Both of those last attacks, the one by Forbes and then the one there, were because the people without the ball kept moving.
Paige Weber threads it through nicely. The cross will go over the line and out for a throw.
And Gabby Tremonti with a good job there of marking her attacker to make sure that as that cross came through, there was no way that the Corktown player was going to get on the end of it.
Maddie Schupak, as you see on your screen, as you figured, she would be a factor. She is whenever she's out there on the pitch. Be it in UEFA Women's Champions League, Bowling Green, wherever she's been, she's always been a factor. Jenna White on the move. Can she get on the end of it? She does.
Forbes is running. Oh, couldn't find her. Kenna picked her head up nicely. Wanted to find Forbes, who had a head of steam and a step. Just couldn't get the ball through.
Even in that transition, John, it was still 2v4 for City. Corktown did well to get back. And we haven't really seen that tonight, John, have we? That third attacker that gets up into the mix for City.
That's so much the key of the way Samperani wants to run. 1v3, 2v4. The way this works best, if you have someone on the wing, you need to have someone at the center and someone at the other wing that you can reverse the field to. You need to have multiple options because that's going to stretch and make Corktown use 4 defenders at the back and respect you. If you'd only send up 2, you've got the pass and the shooter, and it becomes easier to mark and end that attack.
And plays through the middle. Goes wide to the right side. Paige Weber has it. Overlapping run on the other side. Weber will instead turn. Her cross will go out. Had Lauren Boss on the overlapping run, that could have been more dangerous than it was.
You know what? And Barron got caught watching the paint dry a little bit. She wasn't sure the run was going to come at her, and then she was playing catch up all the way through before that service came across.
Anna White along that far touchline. As it played away, she will win a throw.
That's a sellout challenge. All or nothing challenge there to put that out of play.
Throw goes to Hugie. Former Michigan State Spartan tried to thread it ahead, just a little too much on it. Ashley Zugay couldn't get it. Corktown will come up with it.
The ball through.
New ball ahead. Here's Forbes. On the other end of it, will win a corner with her cross played out.
A lot of space for Forbes. She's had much more space in the last 5 minutes now.
This left side, John, DCFC's done some damage up this left side.
Yep. Markers slow to react. Forbes has a lot of room to run. She can use that pace. That's why, and that goes back to the 3 players in attack that you were talking about. You send somebody up that left side all the time, it's already a trouble spot for Corktown. You make them have to consistently respect that, all of a sudden it's going to open up a world of opportunities through the middle and on the right.
Corner service driven in. Knocked down. Flicked up in the air. Craig had to be alert to make the grab.
That's a better header. Just came down a little too early. When you're heading on the set piece like that, Neil, you want to head the ball down. You head the ball off the front of your forehead and up on the crown of the head there. Tough to control. You're really trying to strike that ball right above your eyes. Use the bulk of your forehead. Send that down. Put it in the mixing bowl. Make it tough to save. Yes, there are some all-world headers where you see somebody get up and they put it up into the top corner. But more often than not on those headers, you want to put it down and through. That was probably the best header of the night by City.
And John, I think it's pretty much a long presentation of you got to get it on frame for it to go in the net.
Well, there's that too.
That's a non-negotiable. Corktown with it. This time DCFC stands them up right out in front of the D. And it's interesting, John, since Mueller's gone out, when Corktown has an opportunity or a possession or a chance taken away, they beeline it back towards that back line. Towards when Mueller was in, they would keep the pressure consistent.
Well, I think that also is a factor of having the 1-goal lead. And so with Mueller and with the attacking intent that she could create with her pace through midfield, they're thinking, well, City isn't on the front foot right now. They haven't been able to get joy through midfield. Let's go at this. Now Mueller's out. They have a 1-goal lead. You turtle a bit. Can Mueller clog the turtle? And there's the Norfolk and Southern right on time.
Absolutely. Couple minutes past 8. Corktown with the possession up the left side. Bill will pound it out towards the middle of the pitch. Phil Potts frustrated, trying to get on the other end.
Neil, there's so much more space. Corktown has gone to a defined 5. There are technically 3 at the back, but really it's 5. They've dropped 2 midfielders in front of and alongside that back 3. And now into a back 4.
Which is the byproduct of what I was talking about earlier. As you said, John, there is a very visible change in philosophy.
Yep. Which is fine. City will take that. They want the ball. That actually is, I think, going to create a problem for Corktown down the way, because this City team has too many weapons to park the bus for 58 more minutes. There's only one up top, and that goes back to, I think, trying to make up for Mueller in midfield. Right now, 4 at the back. It's almost a 4-5-1 in practice. In theory, it looks like a 4-4-2, but in reality, it's a 4-5-1.5 or 4-4-1.5.
Chloe Hudson to throw it in. She played 90 minutes in that first matchup against Detroit City FC. UCFC got that 3-0 win. Schupbach with it, gives it a go, and strikes into the left corner. Beautiful left-footed shot by Maddie Schupbach. And it's 2-0 Corktown.
Neil, before she took that shot, I was about to say, isn't it great that City came out and challenged the shooter there coming through? And Schupbach needed to be challenged. The problem was the challenge completely screened Brisbello. She didn't see it. If we get a wide view of that goal, you'll see Becca Brisbello didn't even move. And I don't think she saw that shot until it was too late. Comes, turns, shoots, and Becca didn't move.
That was just a flat-out banger.
Completely screened and a laser around the body, and it's 2-0 to Corktown.
Maddie Schupbach stuns this crowd here at Keyworth.
Wasn't it John Lennon who said life's what happens while you're making other plans? I guarantee you this was not in the plan for Detroit City going into tonight. Now you got to score 3. And you are going to give Corktown further impetus to not only park the bus, but bring in an extra bus in front of the bus. One, two, three, four along the back and 2 in front, sitting directly in front of that back 4 for Corktown now.
Space on the left side once again for City. Here's Phil Potts. Forbes turned away. Rowan coming up. They do have 55 plus minutes though for Detroit City FC. You are going to fall down by 2. Better to do it now than 40 minutes from now, I guess.
This is true, and City, on the men's side of things, does have a history of erasing leads bigger than this at Keyworth Stadium. 3-0 leads, down a man to be exact. If you're a fan that's been with us for that long and remember that match against Lansing United. Nice cut inside there.
So City going to work. Marley Taylor. Sam Pirani.
He wants him forward. I'll tell you right now what the wild hand gestures are. City isn't moving. Sam wants him to move.
There's some service in. The ball headed down and the stop is made. Boy, Haley Craig reached out and touch that one over the bar. Very nearly getting City on the board.
Beautiful service and a great header. It just bounced too much on the artificial surface. Down with power and up and tipped over by the keeper. That's textbook. You just like it to be more toward the keeper's feet. On another night, that might be 2-1.
This ball driven inside the 18. It's headed. Kenna White gives it a go, and the stop is made.
Neil, anywhere but at the keeper's knee, and it's 2-1. Kenna got unlucky there. You want to talk about a banger. That was it.
So City as dangerous as they've been this evening.
Starting to buzz a little bit.
Yes, they are. Comes City through the middle, top of the D. That shot sent in on frame, and not a ton on it. Off the left foot of Melanie Forbes. But this is how close City were to getting on the board.
Great in-swinging corner. Down into the mixing bowl, and Kenna White has a go, and I guarantee you, Haley Craig had no idea about that save. Those are the kind of saves as a keeper that you'll take the stat, you'll take the save, but you had nothing to do with it.
Ball sent in again, and now Corktown will play it back out towards midfield. This portion of tonight's broadcast brought to you by DCFC's official financial services partner, Ally. Start saving for what matters to you at Ally.com.
Final 7 minutes of the half here. Ideally, if you're City, you'd like a goal. That goes without saying. But really what you want to keep doing is you want to keep putting the pressure on. You want to be able to give Sam Perrone something to talk about, something to seize on going into the halftime team talk that sets up and you can take the time to make changes for the second half. Corktown have set their stall out now. There is not a whole lot of attacking impetus in the last 3-4 minutes.
Yes, they are flat out 5-6 across the back line.
Yep. And another holding midfielder in front. And that's going to be the way this is for the next 51 minutes.
And to be fair, I mean, that's the chair in the game they have based on the 2 goals they got.
You know, if you're the big chip stack, you can always the
Right,
people.
absolutely.
That's what they're going to do. City have enough talent, though, I guarantee you, to find a window in the bus and put it through it. To Corktown's credit, they haven't started counting the stitches on the ball in the first half, as I've seen some teams do when they get a lead here at Keyworth.
That's usually a second half move, John. That ball sent up ahead.
And Corktown happy to concede the throw. Boy, I'll tell you what, Grace Philpotts could market and sell several lots worth of real estate.
Turn and fire the shot wide of the frame. Make sure you stick around at the half. We have a tremendous feature on the Pride Raiser campaign. Really an inside look at how it works. And I can only tell you to stick around and take a look at it, just because I had the good fortune of being able to see it already. And it really put things in perspective for me. I mean, that's kind of how I relate things to everybody. It put a lot of things in perspective to me, so I encourage you to all watch it.
You know, please do. It is one of those halftime things you have to see, and what really stuck out to me was getting to see a look at some of the great things that the Ruth Ellis Center, who's the beneficiary of Pride Raiser for Detroit City FC, does for the LGBTQ plus community. And also, frankly, how much it means to the players. And you'll see all of that at halftime.
Special thanks
And we had a chance to preview that segment. I'll tell you what, I got a little caught up in it. Parker.
Yeah, I agree.
Championship on July 3rd, courtesy of the Metro Detroit Chevy dealers.
City to play it after the restart as we push towards the 43rd minute. Neil Rule, John Krieger with you on our Google 5 broadcast. Detroit City FC behind the 8 ball here early on, down 2-0. They have been buzzing as of late. A couple of quality opportunities. Ball played out wide to the left. There's Grace Philpotts. Nice touch ahead, Kenna White. White turns her cross just enough on the touch to cancel out the cross.
And you know, the thing about that, Neil, is I'm of two minds as they play it out wide here.
Back towards the middle. That's a bit of a heavy touch that time from Taylor. Stepping up and in.
I like Kenna White being unselfish, but also you're a striker and she had some space. Sometimes you got to take a lash.
And ball sent in.
City with a back three, they are committing things further forward. And in the back three, they're trying to send the wing backs forward when they can.
Taylor Timko. A little wide to the left. Madison Duncan will shut that down. And a goal kick upcoming.
Great job by Duncan just to use the body and not let the player she's marking get anywhere near having any kind of intent on the ball.
So City will look to get it rolling again.
Neil, this is the stat that we get a chance to, or like to, bring up all that often. Normally, Keyworth of Fortress for Detroit City FC. It's been a while since the numbers have shown a City team being outscored and doubled up at home. But that's the case right now. City's women's side currently being outscored 6-3 at home this year.
Now it comes free to Philpotts. She curls it up towards the frame. It's headed away. City will regain the control. Oh, headed ahead. But nothing much happening for City. I would imagine you'll probably get 2 minutes or so. Stoppage time. Of course, there was the injury to Mueller. I've been given the word it will be 1 minute of stoppage time.
Got a new digital board down there. No more the after last week's fourth official holding the numbers up upside down. They've given them the new digital board down there, sponsored by our partners at DTE Energy.
Marley Taylor in the middle. But again, John, just not a lot happening as far as the final build-up goes. And now you've had the possession. You've had some service into the box, but just that last, either that shot or that last pass just hasn't hit the mark.
Well, you know what? It actually, unfortunately, picks up right where we were against Chicago when we were talking about a half a yard off. A half a yard off, a step off. And that's what it's been. When it gets to the business end of things, that's what it's been. Headers close, headers tipped over, but not the finishing that City had in some of its impressive road victories.
A great job by Forbes to shield the ball from the defender and keep it. Her pass, though, deflected just enough. Now it's played out, and we have to be getting close to the time.
See if the official will allow City to set up the attack on the throw-in. Not after that cutout, I would expect.
And there is the whistle in the first 45 minutes. come to a close, and it was all Corktown AFC on the scoreboard. They have a 2-0 lead. Matty Schupbach, a big-time goal with the left foot, provided the second one. And John City has a mountain to climb here in the second half.
Well, they have some work to do. They controlled their destiny really going into the night. Well, that destiny's been taken from them. We've got to see in the next 45 minutes if they're ready and willing to take it back.
Absolutely. When we come back, as we were talking about a few moments ago, a great piece on the Pride Raiser campaign. The Ruth Ellis Foundation, certainly, if you're able to give that a watch, it is must-see television. So I highly recommend sticking around for that. 2-0, Corktown with the lead. It's a hot one here today in Keyworth. Stay hydrated out there, everybody. But you also do have to hit the taco truck as well. That is a must. 2-0, Corktown with the lead. We'll be back with more as your Watch City broadcast, brought to you by Google 5.
Play with that crest on your chest is something special and it's something that they can never take for granted.
You have to represent a lot more when you put on the kit than if you're just putting on a kit for 22 guys versus 8,000 in the stadium. We are a family, we're a football club.
The community is such a big piece of this.
I know that there's so many clubs all over the world, but Detroit City is such a lot different.
City in the hole against Corktown AFC. And we all know June is Pride Raiser month. And here's a little piece that takes you further inside exactly what goes on, how it benefits, and the passion of the people involved.
Detroit City fans are one of a kind, right? Every morning on a game day, you wake up to several tweets and you know that you're not alone, right? And I think for a lot of guys, for a lot of players, even no matter where you're at, you lose sight of, who you're playing for. And they have an incredible amount of passion for their team. But just for folks who don't really have a voice too, I think they do a great job of extending themselves to every community.
The collaboration with Detroit City Football Club, the Northern Guard supporters, and Pride Raiser has had a significant impact on the Ruth Ellis Center, and not just in terms of raising critical funding to support the programs of operations, but also connecting us with communities that may have never heard about Ruth Ellis Center, or communities who didn't necessarily understand the crisis of LGBTQ youth homelessness here in the U.S. Ruth Ellis Center was established just over 22 years ago, actually now. We now have 4 facilities spanning Detroit and Highland Park, which include a much larger drop-in center, a health and wellness center providing integrated primary and behavioral health care services.
To understand the folks that we serve, I think we have to understand what people don't have. And then the fear of like having to come to your parents or the folks that are raising you and then pushing you out and kicking you out or being violent towards you. When support and love is broken from the mainstream, from the home, it's really difficult for people to find that and then find it consistently. And so Ruth Ellis is very serious about trying to support as much as possible.
For many young people at Ruth Ellis Center, they haven't necessarily engaged in sporting events in the same way that maybe their straight or heterosexual peers might. And so attending a Detroit City Football Club game is an awesome experience. That's really all I can say about it. But for the young people, I think it is probably more than they could have ever imagined. And that signals something to them. It signals that the world is bigger than maybe they anticipated, and that there are more people who are supporting them and their goals and their futures than they could have expected.
Sometimes our community, the Black and Brown LGBT youth, they dance to find some type of freedom, but they don't often dance publicly because sometimes it's not accepted. They were safe to be themselves. No one looked at them ridiculous, and their art that they did, it was embraced and it was beautiful. And for these youth who've worked so hard to be in a space and it felt like the world support them was just, I think it truly did change some of their lives.
For anyone who hasn't participated in Pride Raiser before, here's the basics. Pledge a dollar amount for every home game goal scored. And at the end of June, we're gonna multiply those goals scored by the dollar amount you pledge, and that will be your donation to Ruth Ellis Center. It's easy.
It's exciting. Again, it's a privilege. And yeah, it's always nice to feel that what you're doing on the field is more than just yourself and is more than just the immediacy of playing 90 minutes. So if we can affect change and we can spread awareness, those are things that I'm happy to align with.
As a player, it's always an incredible feeling to score a goal. And in the month of June, it will be even more special, scoring and knowing that it will be in support of the Ruth Ellis Center.
Everybody's going to want to get a goal in June, maybe several too. So if we can really rack up the tally here in June, I think there's going to be a big party in Detroit for several reasons.
We've engaged our community with boots on the ground.
Always helping everyone we can.
This community has always supported our communities. We have impacted more than in our time.
We also bring people together in amazing ways.
We hire for talent and character.
And then we can continue professional development.
50% of our leadership team are women.
All around the world, from Lithuania to Cuba to the USA.
At S3, this is how we do business, and it works.
Are we for everyone? No. We've turned down business from companies whose principles don't align with ours.
We are.
2-0 City trail to Corktown. When we come back, we'll take a look at the highlights from the first 45 minutes of play. We'll also get John Krieger's thoughts. What does City have to do in the second 45 to get back into this one? We will discuss when we come back. You're watching Detroit City FC Soccer, brought to you by Google 5.
DTE's natural gas is a lot more than just an energy source. It perks up your mornings and eases you into relaxed evenings. It works both hard and smart. It can help heal the body and transport the mind. And at the end of the day, cleaner, safe, affordable natural gas is there to do more than just dry your clothes. It's a warm hug waiting to happen. DTE.
To play with that crest on your chest is something special, and it's something that they can never take for granted.
You know you have to represent a lot more when you put on the kit than if you're just putting on a kit for 22 guys versus 8,000 in the stadium.
We are a family, we're a football club.
The community is such a big piece of this.
I know that there's so many clubs all over the world, but Detroit City just touches a lot different.
She created, and Fleming was able to get the tap in. Steinwasser closes the door. It had to be all-world to make the save, and all-world he was.
As far as development, it's essential that we have a youth program.
You're talking about a culture. You're talking about trying to build something that is everlasting.
Detroit City is championship city. Come on. City on 3, 1, 2, 3, City.
Welcome back to historic Keyworth Stadium. 2-0 Corktown with the lead. Neil Rule, John Krieger back with you. And John, as we reconstruct that first 45, it was a pretty simple formula for Corktown. Come out, get a goal early, get another one a little bit later. That's right where you want to be if you're Corktown AFC.
Exactly. And if you take a look at what Detroit City needs to do, it's one word, intensity. And another word, finishing. So I'll give them 2 words. First of all, they got to be better on the ball. I think they were one step slow on the passes, and they were one step slow on the finishes, and that cannot happen in the second half. Corktown didn't have a whole lot of chances, but when they had them, they took them. And Corktown AFC, well, you said it in the first half. The position they have in the game, that's exactly what they've earned. And so now they can park the bus, they can turtle a bit, they have a 2-goal lead to protect, and City have to break it down. Absolutely. Well, coming out and starting quickly, that was something Corktown did to start this matchup out. They got an early goal, and really for Corktown, they announced their presence with authority. They came out, they wanted to be more physical in that first half, and they were more physical. They came out, they got the goal on early good service, and it was 1-0. And then the second goal of the match, challenge comes out, and all of a sudden, Becca Prisbello had nothing she could do with that one, and she just stood there and watched it go by as Schupak made it 2-0, and all of a sudden City was in a huge hole. City got a little better after that second goal went in. We had a couple of headers that were on the top of the frame and tipped over by the keeper, Haley Craig, and she was in the right place in the right time to block a Kenna White laser that she really didn't have a whole lot to say about, but was able to keep it out of the back of the net. City had a couple of chances, but they haven't been able to put one past the Corktown keeper, and that's why we're 2-0 with 45 to go. City need a phenomenal second half comeback here at home in front of the Keyworth faithful if they want to retake their own destiny in UWS. Well, John, we'll see how the trend continues as well. City found some space available on that left side, certainly during the second half of the first 45, and that was right around the time the injury
was suffered for Corktown in the midfield to Gabby Mueller. That opened up some space for City, and John, they were able to take advantage of that in spots. But as you said, just that final quality not there yet.
Well, and the other thing is, if I were inside Sam Perroni's team talk at halftime, I would bet dollars to donuts that it went something along the lines of something like this. We got to be better as a unit. We got to be better without the ball as well as with the ball. Because a big part of the Perroni philosophy is not just what you do when you have the ball on your boot. It's what you do when you don't. If you lose the ball, how do you win it back? If you win the ball, what do you do with it next? And too many times in the first half, frankly, Neil, you got to a situation where City had one player going forward, maybe one more with them. They need to have 3, 4 forward to try to give options because they have the pace to run with Corktown. You don't do that, you're not going to have good opportunities to finish. They need more of that in the second half.
City with the possession to get things rolling. Second half underway at historic Keyworth Stadium. Neil Rule, John Krieger with you. Happy to have you along on our Google Fi Watch City broadcast. Wherever you may be watching around the world, we're certainly glad that you are.
I know we have viewers tuning in tonight from states like Kansas and all the way as far as London, England, tuning in so far this evening. City truly a worldwide phenomenon.
Well, it certainly has been the case, and City now once again on that left side. A little too heavy with the touch that time with Grace Philpotts.
They've closed her down a little bit, though, there. Philpotts has a marker on that left side out there. Aaron Roy has made one adjustment there at halftime. And Philpott's been closed down just a little bit on that left side. But you look at this, Neil. One player up top for Corktown, 9 behind the ball.
And that's going to be the prescription right now for Corktown. So, really you just have to make your peace with that and find a way.
What's the old adage? You park the bus, you got to find a window. And that's where City's at.
This portion of the Watch City broadcast brought to you by Google Fi. We're proud to have Google Fi, our new official partner of Detroit City FC. That ball served up towards the frame and punched back. Now it will go over the line. Google Fi is a different kind of phone plan with simpler pricing and smarter coverage. Learn more at fi.google.com. Ball comes to the frame, but there just, again, no one in the area code for Detroit City.
Go to the ball. Finish. Follow the shot. Make a move. There's been just too many times where an opportunity has presented itself, and if somebody had the initiative to make the run, you have a chance, but nobody's there.
That touch, now it's loose inside the 18. The ball was played over towards Kenna White and just out of her reach.
And Melanie Forbes there, that one ball is the story of the night. Ball came to Forbes, 1 touch, 2 touch, couldn't really control it, attack on. In some form or another, that's the story of the City evening.
Lisa Bayram will play that one up along the line. City just not able to keep it, but they do get it back.
That's a good touch for Corktown.
It's wide out to that right side. Lauren Boss sends a cross in. And it's still loose. Brisbillo's off the line. Turning is Bayron and playing it out. In the corner now coming up for Corktown.
That was not a good defensive look for City right there. A lot of indecision there. Brisbillo came but then couldn't collect. If you're going to come, you got to get it.
Corktown will line up the corner. Driven inside the 18, it was headed down. Corktown wants a handball called. They will not get it.
A foul called the other way.
It was a very dangerous situation, as we will get another look at it. Oh, boy.
Thankfully, that's after the foul, although you could argue that the arm was in a natural position. And at that point, the law allows ball to hand and not have that be called. She wasn't really reaching out with the arm, Neil. So there could have been a gray area there for the official to take the decision.
So City may have dodged one there. Madison Duncan. That ball's taken away by Sammy Lopez. Lakeland Golden Grizzly drops it back again.
City wants to go forward. You can see it, Neil. They've moved the back line. They're trying to press. They're trying to press the ball, but they're not really pressing with the kind of technical nous that will allow them to win the ball and move forward. It's just been pressing, and Corktown has been able to keep the ball. You can tell City knows they need to be on the front foot. It just feels like they're having an awful lot of trouble revving the engines.
John, I think that's a really good way to put it. Just in that they haven't been able to keep it as well.
Oh, heavy touches, ball running away, and they train on this pitch.
Another throw-in coming up. And John, the ball, I noticed this too, that the ball spent a lot of time in the air, be it chest high, be it shoulder high. It's tough to maintain the possession. It's tough to really knock it around the surface and continue that buildup.
And that's what happens sometimes when you had to play the ball through the air. By the way, Corktown sub here, Italia Gemelli will come on. She will replace Taylor Timko, who comes off. So 2 subs in the game so far for Corktown, none for Detroit City FC. And I think that's going to be the next thing here, is how does Samperani shuffle the deck? I'd like to see Mami.
And the spot is pointed to. This will be a penalty for Detroit City. Here's a big turn of events.
Well, we'll have to see what happened here. Ball came through, and I wasn't sure that I saw something that would be the penalty. Oh.
You see it now?
I do.
Okay. Just wanted to confirm.
I didn't see her stick her leg in. I thought maybe the City player had kind of turf monstered it. But no.
So this is a huge spot. Melanie Forbes will stand over it. Sarah Hughey taken down in the box. Forbes moves up to it and strikes. And Detroit City FC right back in this match. It's 2-1 Corktown.
A little chippiness there. After the goal, Neil, referee having to step in. Cool as you like. Melanie Forbes, keeper went the right way, but the penalty just too strong. A beautiful strike. And that's 6 goals in 2 weeks for number 27.
Haley Craig, as you said, guessed right, got a piece of it. But there was just too much on that one to be denied. And the smoke pours out of the Northern Guard supporters section. And you get the feeling, partner, business will be picking up. Mami Yamaguchi getting loose for City.
That was the sub I wanted to see Samperani make. Before that, by the way, we're going to see number 28, Christina Torres, come in. She will replace number 5, Sarah Hughey. So Hughey's last act will be to win the penalty. that gets City back in this contest.
So Torres comes in. So the chess move starting to be made.
Oh, better intent. Neil, you can just see it. In 10 seconds here, you can see City moving forward on the ball, and that's a good ball through. And what are you... Oh, okay, flag is up. I was late flag, offside. I was wondering if he thought there was a foul and didn't want to play advantage. With a City player through on goal. So 35 minutes plus stoppage, partner, for City to find 2 more, because a draw's not going to do it. A draw means, frankly, you've got to beat Midwest twice. And that is a tough challenge, because for my money, and I say this even with Corktown leading here, I think City and Midwest United are the 2 class teams of the division. And you don't want to have to be in a position where you need to get 6.
That should be a handball call. Oh, and they won't get it. That was plain as day. That ball goes out. Throw coming for Detroit City.
Be interesting to see that. I agree with you, partner. Interesting decision not to make that call.
And this will be a corner now for City.
All right through in prime position, and nobody could get on it for City.
Rowan coming up now for Corktown. But business picking up here at Keyworth.
This is a different City team. That goal, Neil, lit a fire under under LaRouge.
Yugi was taken down inside the 18. Here comes City stepping through. Pass threaded ahead. Torres trying to touch it up towards the line, and that will trickle out for a goal kick.
Torres thought somebody was going to double over and make a run to be on the other end of that. A little miscommunication there from the sub just coming into the game. She was trying to feather it through, hoping one of the wingbacks would come through and make a run to be in the other end and shoot it back across the face of goal. Nobody was there, and the chance goes begging.
Snap ahead.
Look out.
Great step around Villarreal. Can she catch up to it? She cannot. A flag is up on the far side anyway, so it's all for naught. Well, how about that build up there from midfield on in by Corktown? A whole lot came out of not much. Next 9 minutes brought to you by DTE. No matter where you are in your energy efficiency journey, DTE can help you score savings. Learn more at dteenergy.com/save energy.
Well, right now the energy journey for Detroit City FC is get more energy and expend all of it. That is the order of the day for the next 33 minutes. They've been much better after the goal. They are, however, pressing high. And the reason, you talked about that step through and that build up, frankly, that's because City know they have to press. They lose this game 3-1, as you have said on previous broadcasts, Neil. 3-1, 2-1, doesn't matter. They have a plus 17 goal difference. They have enough to spend and a half on the goal difference department. It's all about trying to chase that equalizer. And so they will be at times open at the back if you get the right ball through, and you need to watch out for that.
I always equate that scenario to the guy in your fantasy baseball league that has Mike Trout but's in last place. But just trade Mike Trout, man.
Yeah.
And he holds on to him all year long, and he just stays in last place with Mike Trout.
But I had Mike Trout, yes,
yeah,
but you had no one else.
Yeah, I know you did.
Congratulations.
There's no difference. You can be in last place without Mike Trout. The City will wing it out. DCFC certainly open for business after that last penalty conversion.
make a fantasy sports trade for a tangible object, Neil? Since you brought up making fantasy trades?
No, I haven't.
I have been known on occasion to trade fantasy
considerations.
And it was more chicken wings considerations.
Like a case of Strohs?
One of those. Yeah. It's,
you got over. No matter who, what the trade was, you got a case of Strohs. You got over.
I think I won the trade. Yes.
The ball sent up ahead, headed away. Grace Philpott's with it. Tries to make her move, but again, the ball played away. A throw-in coming up.
Neil, I think we're going to see Mami Yamaguchi, and I think that's a really good sub by Samperani. Veteran experience. Calm things down, really good on the ball. Nice job by City's back line there. Just step forward, Tremonti to get in, keep the pressure on.
That ball headed towards the frame. Not a lot on it. Haley Craig scoots over, makes a catch.
More impetus from the City back line and trying to keep sending the ball forward, keep putting the ball back in the mixing bowl. I like to see that from Gabby. City's center backs on the halfway line right now, tilting the field.
Now some big-time pressure that brings results by Torres. Torres into the box, goes across! It's right on top of the goal line and played away. And Corktown fortunate to still have the lead.
Oh, Neil, our British friends would say she missed a sitter, and I believe she did. Oof. So close. And here comes Mami.
Mami Yamaguchi will come in. Substitution for City. Played for the Japanese national team, 18 matches with 8 goals. Played in the UEFA Champions Cup final in Sweden. Had her number retired at Florida State. Led the nation in points, the top female player in the country. Won the Hermann Trophy, which is equivalent to the soccer Heisman. Anything you want, she's accomplished in the game of soccer.
And you know what the fun part about this is? Is that she's come in and she's also a coach. So she's giving to the next generation of the game as well.
Detroit City, as we take another look, John.
You know what?
That close.
Wow. I thought she had missed the sitter, but a nice job by the defender to get in and actually knock that away. Slide in front. I thought the City player had gotten a boot on the ball, but instead a heck of a defensive play to step in front and deny Kenna White.
Boy, how do you stop that and not put it in the net yourself? You know, just to shield the attacker from getting to it. Your momentum's carrying you towards that open net.
So what you're going to do with that, Neil, plain and simple, is you're going to try to hit that with the top of your foot. You are going all or nothing. You got to sell out, because if you stop it with your body, chances are you're going to get called for a handball. If you let it through, Kenna White's going to tap that home like it's a job. So what you're going to try to do is just get your foot underneath the ball and try to sky it, and that's exactly what she did.
Boy. And Schupbach right now coming off the pitch. And she's getting a drink of water aggressively, like she will be back in. Mami Yamaguchi into the match for Detroit City. There is a look. Former Florida State Seminole, had her number retired.
She's come in, she's a coach with City's UWS 2 women's team. And I love what Samperani had to say about Mami. You know, he was talking about the way she operates at training, and she said, you know, some coaches, they come in and they're happy to stand on the sidelines. They're happy to watch players run drills. Not Mami Yamaguchi. She's out there. She's got her boots on at training. She's going through drills with the rest of the players that she's coaching. That kind of presence is going to be vital here for the last 27 minutes.
And there, Yamaguchi shields off her marker and wins possession. Impact felt right away. Ball sent ahead. Yamaguchi taken down. The whistle will sound, and a dangerous free kick
And Mami Yamaguchi, see, that's it. She took one for the team right there. She's hurting a little bit right now. But you know what she did? She put herself in the path of the oncoming train, knowing that once she got positioned, she was going to get bowled over and draw the free kick. That's called pain for gain. And now you get the free kick and a chance to equalize.
And Stern talking to right now by the official. But City will have this in a very dangerous spot. Just a couple of yards outside the 18 line.
Keeper has to respect the ability to go for goals. City scored one like this, although that was touchdown to Mason in the first meeting. She's not in the 18 today.
Watch Kenna White on the far right side. And that ball driven over top of the frame.
That was a free kick of 2 minds, Neil. That wasn't really set up to be on goal, and it wasn't anywhere near anyone in that setup could get on it. And the chance goes begging. Still 25 minutes, though, and frankly, City looked like the team more likely to get the second goal. But the question is whether they can get the third, because Corktown would be fine coming out of Keyworth with a point. Better control there. Nice turn.
Torres again has it. Torres stops and fires it over top of the bar. But some conviction here from Detroit City.
And I love Torres' move on the ball. Now, I would have liked to see her pick her head up and see if there was a runner coming. I don't think there was one, and so she just wanted to take the attempt on goal. But able to cleanly challenge and then step through an intended challenge by Corktown. That's really good body control and control on the ball. Now a sub for City coming in. Alia Frederick's going to come in, the Linden, Michigan native. She comes in and replaces Grace Philpotts, who has run her race and run it well, had a lot of space. Just couldn't do a whole lot with it up the left side.
Frederick's a former UWS first teamer with the Michigan Legend as well, has an assist this year. Played nearly 2,000 minutes for Eastern Michigan in 2019. 2,000 minutes. Throw-in coming up.
Look at Torres on this. Whoops. Wait. Oh, I got you. Reminds me of Maverick in the 80s movie Top Gun. I'm going to hit the brakes and fly right by.
Reminded me of the Professor in the N1 mixtape tour. Kenna White with the cross. That comes loose. Yamaguchi. City circling right now in the water.
Mom, you know what? Yamaguchi is absolutely the straw that stirs the drink right now. City wants her on the ball in midfield.
And the hold is called.
Good call by the officials. So many times referees will let that go, and here comes City again, buzzing. And the Corktown bench is giving the referee a little bit of guff, and Aaron Roy's about to get a talking to.
Have been particularly chirpy on that bench over there in the second half.
You know, coaches can be carded now. Wouldn't that be fair?
And the officials, I think, have heard enough. And in the meantime, the clock's still running as well.
What you hope is that the officials are keeping track on this and we don't get to the 90th minute, see 2 minutes of stoppage time. That's the thing.
Over the course of the last 10 minutes of this match, when do we cut this off right here? Like, when do we play? For real, when do we play?
Well, some would argue it's the position they're at in the game.
No, but I'm saying, like, when do you say, all right, you've said your piece.
Let's go.
We have to play this game.
And that's good officials will do that. He's letting Aaron Roy have his piece, but.
Well, he more than got his piece there.
That's true. And now the magic spray comes out.
Yeah. Let's play. Here's Ashley Zugay to line things up. Zugay curls it up towards the frame. It's wide, and just not a lot of activity inside that final 6 for City.
No, it was high line for Corktown, and so, but see, when you have a defensive high line like that, you really need your attackers to be in tune and on their front foot and try to beat that trap and go forward, and Aaron Roy is still chirping at the official. Time for him to get a card to be sent to the stands. He earned it.
An overplay. And City will reap the benefits. Leah Fredericks took it away.
See, that they played that up into the channel. Most times, you're going to have somebody running onto the end of that. There's nobody running onto the end of those balls for City right now.
Oh, Yamaguchi stuck her toe in there and took it away. Here comes City with it. Yamaguchi overlaps. Ball's played inside the 18. Nobody really in the vicinity for City. But they do come back away with it. "70 minutes down here at historic Keyworth Stadium."
Neil, we've officially gone to a defense versus attack drill, because if you take a look at Corktown, nobody's further out than 40 yards from their own goal.
Yamaguchi steps through. Yamaguchi's shot didn't get a ton on it.
Neil, if she strikes that true, it's 2-all. She just scuffed it. It ran away from her, and she had to stretch the leg. But she has been an absolute breath of fresh air since coming on.
Tsuge on the left side. That ball's booted by the kicker.
See, that's the thing right there. You put the ball in on frame, run at it, go. That ball was spilled. Have somebody there making a run. Commit forward. A lot of people standing and watching.
Forbes plays it back, curled up towards midfield, flicked ahead. Yamaguchi stepping through. Yamaguchi again taken down from behind.
That's got to be a card. That's
And
got
it
to
will
be a
be.
booking. Yep.
Boy, Mami Yamaguchi has worn it since she's come into this match. Corktown AFC, and Mike Roy said that he wanted his side to be much more physical. And they've been physical, I guess, is one way you can describe it over the last 10 minutes. Certainly as Yamaguchi's come into this match.
I think that he would have wanted them to be more cleanly physical. That's blatantly physical, and that's a well-deserved card. But how about Mami Yamaguchi? First touch on the ball, draws a free kick. Fourth and fifth touch on the ball, draws a free kick. About her 8th touch on the ball, narrowly missed scoring a goal. Now draws another free kick. She is making her case for player of the match in my book.
Christina Torres will line things up.
High line here for Corktown. Be aggressive.
Torres moves up to it, strikes it right into the wall.
Oh, was that off a hand?
Ball sent back in towards the 18. And that whistle will go against City.
Interesting decision.
Fredericks is laughing at that call right now. And we'll hear more from the Corktown coaching staff.
At what point does it cease? At what point does it cease to be okay?
I don't know.
You asked that, and I've now gone over to your camp, my friend.
Well, just when do we play the match, man?
Yes. At what point does it become not coaching and more blatant whining? And I think we're approaching the blatant whining.
Lauren
phase.
Boss comes out. She played some very quality minutes for Corktown here tonight. City with the control on the left side. This portion of tonight's Watch City broadcast brought to you by Stroh's, dependably Detroit since 1850. 74th minute, Neil Rule, John Krieger with you. Our Watch City broadcast brought to you by Google Fi. Happy to have you along. City looking for an equalizer.
Here comes Mommy again. Best run of the night on the wing. That by Yamaguchi.
To Fredericks. She steps through, threads it through beautifully. Shot! The stop is made. It's loose again and cleared out. Oh, what a stop made by Haley Craig.
Great stop. And nobody from City followed the shot. Would have been an easy tap in to go. Turns, fires, Craig gets down. And nobody from City in the vicinity crashing the net after that shot. Anybody makes a run near there.
Deflected by the defender.
Oh.
Ashley Barron, I believe. There's a left-footed try that will be over top of the bar.
I'll tell you what, you got to give credit to City for their intent in the last 10 minutes. And here comes another sub for City. Natalie Graff comes on. The Valparaiso University product.
So Graff in. Started 17 matches as a freshman at Valpo. Over 1,500 minutes and was second on the team in points.
You know, so look at Mommy again.
Another opportunity. As going down in the box was Melanie Forbes.
That's a foul and a card. That's an elbow in the back. Wow.
Amelia Villarreal called for that foul. Torres sends it in, headed just wide of the goal.
Take a look at Craig's punt here downfield on this goal kick. She does not have a great leg, and City are not respecting her punt. Look how shallow City's setup is here. Her last punt downfield only went about 35 yards. This one barely gets to the start of the center circle. City can use that to their advantage. If you give up a goal kick, keep the pressure on, keep the defense forward, because Corktown is showing absolutely no initiative to get forward right now. So if Corktown's going to park the bus in front of their own goal, park yours on their side of the halfway line.
Substitution now for Corktown. Sierra Curtis will come in. Paige Weber will come out. So chess moves continue to be made here, 78th minute. And the screws tighten ever so more.
Two City players back, despite how forward they've been. Corktown tried to go forward. City right there to cut it out. Much better now. Foul against City. But much better, Neil, from Detroit City in the last 10 minutes of this contest. At this point, with the way they've played, if they keep this up through the last 12 minutes plus stoppage, it will not be fair to them that they will not have gotten an equalizer.
Bill comes over to cut it off. Make sure you catch our next Detroit City FC broadcast Saturday, June 19th. Check your local listings. That will be against Midwest United. That certainly will be a big one. And if this result holds, it'll be even bigger for Detroit City FC.
Going to be huge. That's going to be a must-win.
Yamaguchi curled it around. That was taken away. Jorth.
So deft on the ball is Yamaguchi. And now the other way, it's Corktown just sending the ball down, nobody running forward, and City having to go back and collect. And Corktown with the illusion that they are trying to move forward, but they'll park the bus very quickly if City can get an attack again.
And Corktown with the possession. Schupbach played it wide to the left. Curtis. Lots of space for Corktown to work. A heavy touch, and that ball sent over the line. Corktown probably should have gotten a little more out of that than they did, but City will take it.
Nice to see the beer garden back there behind the suites, Neil, in that shot. The picnic tables are back as the restrictions and capacity things change here at Keyworth Stadium. Nice to see people congregating back there before the game. First time it's been back. Also the first time the Northern Guard March to the Match was back.
Over 3,000 in attendance here tonight.
And you know, Wild City's playing it out from the back, Neil. Again, what a great piece at halftime we had about the Pride Raiser initiative. Started by 3 people, 2 from Detroit City FC and 1 from Chattanooga. It's gone into an international phenomenon. You can make your gift today and pledge per goal at prideraiser.org.
Here comes Forbes. Again, her pass deflected away. It was a great piece, no question. Yamaguchi sends it wide to the left. Forbes again trying to make her way through, unable to, but it comes back out. Here's Fredericks. Steps up. Fredericks tried to send it through. It nearly pinballed into the open space.
City moving much better without the ball. Giving players with the ball options, and that's why you're seeing them be able to move the ball against Corktown here.
And this will be a goal kick coming up for Corktown, but John, as we take another look here, both sides just selling out for it. Cleats to knees.
Tell you what, shows you how much this match means to both.
There's no question. Schupbach on the right side. She has the go-ahead goal for Corktown. It was a banger. Back in the first half. Billa will take it. Yeah, you mentioned getting involved with the Pride Raiser campaign. Certainly, if you have the means to do it, please do so. That piece was eye-opening, and John, I always go back to it. You know, I knew about that situation, but I didn't know, and I didn't really fully comprehend everything that was going on until I got involved working for Detroit City FC and really interacted with people that promoted that organization and the cause behind it and everything like that. And then you talk to people and you hear their stories, and it resonates with you. You know, the world, you know, the world can be a very cruel place a lot of times. And certainly what the Ruth Ellis Foundation does is very needed. Go ahead and talk to anybody about it. They will tell you. And you said it. I mean, it had an impact on me watching that piece, just like my time working here for this club. It's had an impact on me, and you become aware of the situations and you become an advocate. And I would implore you, if you have the means to do so, support the Pride Raiser campaign.
Click on that Northern Guard Pride Raiser campaign to donate to Ruth Ellis Center. And I have something on that after this attack as it goes out of play. You know, you talked about how the piece affected you and what Ruth Ellis Center does. The thing that really caught my and really got to the root of it for me was the realization. Think about this. You go to tell your
that ball comes loose. Yamaguchi with a shot, and the stop is made.
Came in quickly there. You go to tell the family that you have. You know, you come out to them, you let them know some very important personal things about your life, and they decide that they don't want you.
Right.
That's a soul-ripping experience.
John, it happens. And it happens frequently.
More than we want to admit.
And that's exactly the way you put it. More than people want to admit.
And, you know, I think we would be better as a country when, A, we are more accepting, and B, we do more to help people in that situation. And that's what the Ruth Ellis Center does.
Ella Ballard will come into the match as we get another look at that stop made by Craig.
Wow. She has come up with some, in the first half I talked about a save she made where there was not a whole lot she had to do with it. She's had to do with a couple of saves in the second half. She's done very well.
Ballard in, the native of Hawaii, plays for the LA Galaxy U17 Academy. Here's Frederick. Makes a turn. Unable to keep her footing, and a throw-in coming up for Corktown.
Okay.
Well, let's check out tonight's attendance, brought to you by Rip It 3,120. In historic Keyworth Stadium. Good to see everybody out here tonight. We are back. And it feels good.
Every week it feels a little more normal, my friend.
Yes, it does. Yamaguchi touches it out wide to the left side.
By the way, if we don't have at least 6 minutes of stoppage, the center referee hasn't done his job there. I'll put that out there right now. If there isn't at least 6 up there with all the whining, complaining, and grousing that was done, and injuries and subs, somebody hadn't done their job.
Here comes City. Some space on the left side. Ball crossed in. It's played out. It's loose. Played up in the air. Kenna White with the header back across. Still loose. City with the possession. That ball deflected. Kenna White cannot track it down. Boy, City did everything but score.
Boy, I'll tell you what, they're buzzing. They just haven't been able to finish, Neil. And that time it was a bunch of near misses. Deflection back, comes through. Looked like it was going to be skied over the line. Kenna White with an all-world move to keep it in play, then into the mixing bowl, and they couldn't control it and bring it down. Bunch of almosts.
Ball flicked back towards midfield, 87th minute.
When the final chapter on this one is written, let it be said, City did not go gentle into this good Keyworth night. They have played much better in the second half.
That was a very heads-up play by Schupbach. As soon as her defender made the move towards her, she played it ahead. Really, the only thing you can do as a defender is play it out over the line at that point. There's nothing else you can do.
Anywhere but here. Look out. Lots of runners for City. Got to find them.
Torres. Yamaguchi. Yamaguchi lets it go and sends it over top of the bar.
Everything she's done tonight, Neil, I find myself holding my breath. Remember, you can come join us next week, next Saturday night here at Keyworth Stadium. Tickets are available. Be a part of Detroit City Soccer. That's cityfc.com to get your tickets right now.
Torres again. Able to turn with it, but it squirts free towards midfield. And off into the smoke they go.
I think we're going to have our first smoke delay of the year here, Neil. The purple smoke is particularly good.
And there is the whistle.
There it is. Smoke delay number 1, ladies and gentlemen. Signed Northern Guard supporters. Gives us one more opportunity.
So Detroit City FC has been on the doorstep a couple of times. And really, Christina Torres, John, has been the point person. Whenever there's been pressure, whenever there's been opportunities, Torres is usually the one getting it going.
Torres and Yamaguchi doing a really good job through midfield and very strong on the ball. That time, Torres to Yamaguchi, and Mami had a half a yard of space, just couldn't keep it down and on frame.
That was a great look, too, at Mami Yamaguchi, especially in space. And her movements, the way she's constantly moving her hips, if you're a defender, you don't know which way she's going to go with any degree of certainty. She can move left on you, move right on you.
These officials haven't figured out yet that the Northern Guard isn't going to stop lighting off smoke.
Right.
They're over here talking about it, trying to figure out what to do. He has no idea what to do in this situation. Welcome to Detroit. I think the Northern Guard has gotten the message that they won't start it, and eventually, City do need the equalizing goal here, so we've had a let up in some of the smoke discharge. But it gives us an opportunity one more time to let you know that to pledge per goal for the 5 first team matches here in June, you can make your gift at the Northern Guard Supporters Pride Racer Challenge at prideracer.org. Six minutes, I called it. 6 minutes of stoppage time. And that means the center referee has done his job. Anything less than that would have been absolutely criminal.
Here comes City. Looking for that equalizer.
Good ball in. But a handball caught on the arm coming down.
And that hurts if you're City.
They actually had set up very well, Neil. If they could have controlled that without using the arm, could have been easily directed back to 2 or 3 people waiting. And that's an anywhere but here clearance for Corktown AFC. And City will just shepherd it down and give it the other way to Becca Prisbello.
The men will be back in action on Saturday, June 26th against Chattanooga FC. That's always a good one at 7:30.
Depending on matches, that could be to decide the best record in the spring season.
Yamaguchi goes down again.
Nami Yamaguchi, I'll tell you what. She's been on the pitch for about 20 minutes. I think she's still my candidate for player of the match.
It's been a hard 20 minutes for her.
She changed this game. And Sam Perrone said that. He said she came to City knowing she was not going to be able to start. She was not going to go full 90s, but boy, could she go for 30. And boy, was he right. That's something he told us before the Muskegon match.
Ball sent in, headed across, up in the air, and now played out. Corktown with it. We're about 2 minutes into stoppage time.
Give away there. Move it quickly.
Scheduled for 6. Madison Duncan sends it ahead. End to end we go. City moving forward. Yamaguchi's at the top of the D calling for it. Players going everywhere. Cross sent in. It's headed away. Yamaguchi gives it a lash, and the stop is made by Craig. Sent across. City will keep it. Fredericks overran it. Kenna White will get there. Finds Fredericks. Her cross. And Torres had fallen down. Detroit City knocking on the door. About 3 minutes in to 6 minutes of stoppage time.
Neil, you can feel there's moisture in the air now. That weather's coming in. Ball's going to move in this climate.
Service into the 18, headed away.
Ball will dip and stay lower. The atmosphere's changed in the last 5 minutes. And how about that Mami Yamaguchi lash on the volley?
That was worldly.
That's what happens when you play internationally for one of the best nations in women's football in Japan. You put that rising sun on your chest, you've got some game.
We gave you the resume. 8 goals in 18 matches for the Japanese national team. Also played in the UEFA Champions Cup final. Has her number retired at Florida State. Won the soccer version of the Heisman Trophy. Led the nation in points.
Neil, I think the final verdict on this day, if City do not get the equalizer that frankly I think they deserve, if they don't get the equalizer, I would say that if they played the entire 90 minutes of this match the way they played this last 20, they'd have won this thing easily. But they didn't have that same intensity from the start. And I think it cost them.
.5 minutes into this one.
It's a handball. This is good clock management by Corktown. That's just heads up play to take it to the corner. And just run this thing out.
They will get another throw. And really, John, when you look at the totality of the match, Corktown's done a lot of things right here tonight.
They have. Came out. They were the more ambitious team going forward. Early in the match, they were much more physical. Aaron Roy wanted his team to be more physical. Boy, were they.
Ball sent back out towards the midfield line. It's across the line. Throw-in coming up for Corktown, and there's just about 15 or so seconds left to stoppage time. Corktown will flick that ahead. Another throw-in coming up. And I would imagine that will just about do it.
And Corktown came in here. We thought they might be a little intimidated coming into Keyworth. You know what? They weren't.
The final whistle sounds, and Corktown AFC gets a 2-1 win over Detroit City here at historic Keyworth Stadium.
Well, Samperani's team gave him a response after the loss to Chicago. Boy, are they going to need a response next week, because this is now very well and truly and very quickly become a 3-horse race in the UWS Great Lakes North Division, and Detroit City no longer can try to coast into a playoff spot. They're going to have to fight for the next couple of weeks. It's going to be a fun business end of the season, but a tough one for the players.
The story will be written over the next couple of weeks. There is no question about it. Business has picked up officially in the Midwest North Conference. Corktown AFC gets a 2-1 win over Detroit City FC in front of 3,100 plus. As we will check out tonight's Save of the Match presented by Ally. Start saving for what matters to you at ally.com. Becca Prisbillo did her best to keep City in this one as she goes vertical to keep it out of the net. And that was, of course, after Corktown had the 1-0 lead. They would strike a few minutes after that to take the 2-0 lead. City gave it everything they had, but in the end, Corktown holds on to the 2-1 win. When we come back, we'll get you some final thoughts and wrap this one up. From historic Keyworth Stadium, you're watching UWS Women's Soccer, brought to you by Google Fi.
Football is a big deal in this house. So when Maurice was injured, we immediately thought the worst. To see my baby lose his joy hurt.
The DMC, Rehabilitation Institute of Michigan, is here to help athletes get back in the game.
They're like family. It was a long road, but we made it back.
DMC, Rehabilitation Institute of Michigan, a community built on care.
Goodbye and the spam calls. Hello to a phone plan with built-in spam blocking. See you later. Networks that are unsafe Hello, built-in VPN. Now the networks I join are private. So long, hackers and trackers finding my personal information. Hello to a phone plan that keeps me safe and secure. Goodbye, everything you can't. Hello, Google Fi, a phone plan that can.
Night, Sarah. Drive safe. Baby. Bye.
Drive safe.
Okay.
You guys ready?
Drive safe.
We all say it. Chevy can help you do it. With Chevy Safety Assist Standard on the new Equinox and Trailblazer, part of the Chevy family of SUVs.
Find your perfect Chevy. GM employees with a current eligible Chevy lease can get this Equinox for $189 a month. Chevrolet, the best-selling family of SUVs in Metro Detroit. Chevy drives the Motor City. Visit ChevyDetroit.com.
The highways and the throughways try to map you, baby. I got your back.
To the rest of the world, Detroit is where they build cars. But to your Metro Detroit Chevy dealers and everyone who proudly call themselves Detroiters, it goes way beyond that.
I got your back.
Detroit may be known for building cars, but together, we all built Detroit.
We are one when we get going.
Put it in D and see why Chevy drives the Motor City.
Over 3,100 fans showed up here at historic Keyworth Stadium, but Corktown AFC spoiled the party as they get a 2-1 win over Detroit City FC. Neil Rule, John Krieger back with you. And our Watch City broadcast brought to you by Google Fi. And John, Corktown came in. They got the first goal. They got the second goal, and they rode that to the 2-1 win. But Melanie Forbes, our Woman of the Match, presented by Google Fi. And this really, John, started something. Detroit City FC, very unlucky to not at least get the equalizer here tonight after this Melanie Forbes goal.
Absolutely. You know what? The penalty was taken really well, low toward the post. Very difficult to save. The keeper went the right way, but Forbes with her sixth goal in the last 2 weeks, and there's a reason that she was the first name penned in on Sam Perroni's team sheet tonight. Unlucky for City. The penalty really turned the tide in the match and certainly gave City the impetus they needed to search for the equalizer. They just couldn't find one tonight, and now they've got a tough road to hoe here in the last part of the UWS North Division season.
Not much time to sit here and think about it. Midwest United FC will be coming in here next. That will be our next broadcast. We'll have it for you on the TV side all over the state of Michigan. So make sure you check your local listings for next Saturday's matchup against Midwest United FC. That will do it for our broadcast coverage here at historic Keyworth Stadium. For our entire crew, my broadcast partner John Krieger, my name is Neil Rule, reminding you one final time, Corktown AFC, the 2-1 win on the road over Detroit City FC. Thank you everybody again for watching Detroit City FC Soccer, brought to you by Google Fi. Well, see you later.